Today we meet one of the most brilliant, and excellent, and best teachers Montebello High School has ever seen. Unfortunately, this great teacher is retiring, so I thought we should have a small talk and also appreciate him and bid him farewell before he leaves us.
Thank you, Tamer. I appreciate that.
Hello, Mr. Frazer.
Hello.
First of all, how long have you been teaching?
I started my teaching career in 1982. I taught for a year in England before I came over here to the United States, and have taught in the United States ever since, obviously. So, 38 years total?
Was counting them, yeah.
Yeah, 38 years.
So
how time flies.
Yeah, time does fly. What has teaching taught you?
I think I went into teaching originally to be a physical education teacher. And I started my career off being a physical education teacher because in high school, I wasn't a good student. I wasn't a good high school student. And the class I enjoyed most was PE. And the teacher I connected with the most, a role model, a mentor, was the PE teacher. So I thought, this might be a good career for me to see. So I started off as a PE teacher. Then things happened. The district had some financial issues, and I lost my job as a PE teacher at Macy, and then came over here as a math teacher at the high school. So I think, and over the years, I joined many programs. I was involved with the Career Academy, and then AVID, and now AMP, and it's taught me to be flexible, to enjoy coming to work day by day, to never take things for granted. Things will change, especially over the last few years. We know things have changed, but I think it's also taught me to have a bright outlook on the day. I enjoy coming to work. Every day I've enjoyed coming to work. I enjoy seeing students' faces, meeting new students every year. So it's taught me to appreciate being a teacher and being able to hopefully reach, the lives of young students.
So just like being, one of your students, I know you have one of the most interactive, fun classes, and you have a reputation for that. How do you try to keep class interesting, interactive, fun, and joking, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, and I think, as a math teacher for the most part over the last 30-something years, math is perhaps one of the most difficult subjects to teach. So I've always attempted to have a sense of humor in class. When students graduate and they send me little notes, they always tell me they enjoyed my corny jokes, my dad jokes. So I think trying to have a sense of humor has helped a lot. Laughing and joking and playing around a little bit. My classroom has never been one where, students just sit silently in class and I expect them to do the work. I like to move around the classroom, interact with the students, get to know the students, create a relationship. I think teaching is all about creating relationships. And having fun. And hopefully, in mathematics, hopefully, different approaches and different ways for students to look at things and interest. If they want to come to class because the teacher has a little bit of a sense of humor, or it's going to be a fun class or more fun class, then that's half the battle, I think. So if they can come into the room with a smile on their faces, then the job's half done.
What is one lesson a student taught you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me think. Well, probably been lots of lessons over the past years. I mean, I think what I've learned from students is that, a lot of times they bring issues and not necessarily troubles, but things going on at home into the classroom. And as teachers, I feel we have to have a little bit of empathy. When I grew up and went to school in the 70s, high school in the 70s, it was very different. You went in, you did your work. The teachers didn't really get to know you or where you were from. So I think the lesson I've learned over the years is try to understand your students and get to know your students and where they're from, and that way you can hopefully reach them in more ways.
Yeah, it's really important to every student requires a particular approach due to different struggles in life and different, just being a different person.
Right.
is an important thing. What is your last advice do you send to students? Yeah, what's like the last advice you say to them?
Well, I think, and I'll always tell my students, you have to make good choices. So, you are the person. The student is the person in control of behavior, in control of grades, in control of what you do. There are many opportunities out there for students, but you have to work hard to get to where you want to get. So my advice is, if something becomes challenging in your life, don't give up on it. Work harder to achieve it. That's the simple fact that needs to, you need to understand this is going to be difficult, so I don't quit. It means I have to work harder at it and make good choices about it. Yeah, and also moving forward, once you leave high school, find something that you want to do. Find something you're going to enjoy doing in terms of a career or a job. Yeah.
Just like you had your PE teachers as a
Right.
model, and that really drove your decision
Absolutely.
to teach PE.
Yeah.
But throughout college, what did you major in?
Well, in England, it was a different situation. So when I went to high school in England, you went to college having declared your major. So I was going to be a teacher, so I went directly to a teacher training college. So I spent 3 years at college training to be a teacher. So when I came out of that college, I had a degree in education and teaching.
So a general teaching.
Yes. So it's different over here. You would go to school, get a degree, and then perhaps do an extra year to get your teaching credential.
Oh.
Over there in England, it was all rolled into one. So you went to college and with the goal of being a teacher at the end of those 3 years.
And which system do you think is easier to work through?
Well, I mean, the good thing about the English system was that we didn't go into college having to do years of general education. The one thing that was difficult though was, and I think about seniors leaving high school this year, how many 18-year-olds really know what they want to be in life? Things change, ideas change. So I think I can see both sides, of the situation. If you know exactly what you want to do, then the system worked well. If you didn't know what you wanted to do at 18, then perhaps not so well. Yeah.
Yeah,
because it takes time. Sometimes you go to college, you get a degree, and then you leave the college and say, okay, now what? So.
And sometimes you do the first year and you're like, no, I don't like this thing, and
Right.
you change completely.
Right, you change your major, or you change your ideas of what you want, and that's the same even if you don't go to school, right? If you don't go to college, you go straight into the workplace. You again need to find something that you enjoy doing, being passionate about. So that's why it's nice to see so many young teachers coming into Montebello High School who are really passionate about education and what they're doing.
And especially alumni, it's always nice to see.
Yes, and it's funny. Mr. Rodriguez was a student of mine. A number of teachers on campus. Mr. Ramirez was a student of mine. Miss Lerma, Mr. Rodriguez, the other Mr. Rodriguez, the math teacher. So it's good to see Miss Flores, the PE teacher. It's good to see all of these teachers here who were students of mine. It's good to see what they did.
A shout out to, all the students, now teachers of Mr. Frazer's.
Yes. And I probably forgot a couple of people as well, but that's what happens when you get older.
Yeah, that happens. As you bid farewell to Montebello High School, what do you say, to its staff, your fellow teachers, and basically, to the school, personally talking to them?
Yeah, I hope that, I hope to all the students who have had me in a class that in some way I have made their experience here at Montebello High School more enjoyable. To the teachers, thank you for being my colleagues for so many years, and also, I appreciate what you do. I know teaching it can be a struggle at some times and difficult. There are some days that are great, and then the next day may not be so good. So to them, thank you so much. I'll miss everybody. I'll miss the school. I won't miss the commute from my home to Montebello, and I've got a long list of things that I'd like to do. So I think it's a good time and opportunity for me to move on and start the next adventure of my life. But I will miss, obviously, all the people I've worked with. So yeah, I'd like to thank them, and hopefully I brought a smile to their faces. I mean, that's the attitude I brought to the classroom. That's the attitude I bring when I go and see Miss Maribel and Gabby in the office there in A1, and the counselors in the counseling office. And so that's just who I am on campus. I'm kind of a joker, and I hope I bring a lot of smiles to people's faces.
Yeah, and that's one of the best things you would leave after you leave, upon leaving any place and upon leaving life as itself, leaving a smile on people's, I'm not jumping to conclusions, but it's like one of the best things to leave a smile on people's faces.
I hope so.
And since you brought up Miss Maribel and Gabby, Miss Maribel is retiring this year.
Yes, she is.
So she might be on the show later on.
Oh, there we go.
So keep the lookout.
She would be a wonderful. But she's another person who always has a smile on her face. Yes, always.
And you also jumped us into the next question, and probably the final question that will lead the discussion on what's the next step in your life. What do you plan to do after retirement?
Well, I have 2 grandchildren, a 2-year-old and a 3-month-old. So I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time with them, to being able to take them to school, pick them up from school. My family in England, I look forward to traveling to see them more often. I don't know if many students or staff are aware, I'm a triplet. So I have 2 sisters exactly the same age as me, and both of their families are over in England. So it'll be fun to be able to spend more time over there as we get older. Being with them and seeing them and having fun with them, and just waking up in the morning and seeing what the day brings and those kind of things. So just moving on with life, a new adventure.
Yeah, and it's gonna be nice waking up, to the different society, to the different people back in England. When you go there. And that's something really interesting. Americans who didn't, especially high school students who didn't really travel outside of the United States, much less California. Sometimes, what would you tell us about England?
Well, it's been a long time since I've lived there, and I'm sure it's changed quite a bit. But it's a beautiful place to visit. Everybody says it's so green. And it is, because it rains a lot in England. So, but it is a beautiful place to visit and spend some time there and travel around. It's got a lot of history to it. So if you enjoy history, then England would be a great place to visit. It'll be fun to get back and just spend some relaxing time. A lot of countryside, a lot of hikes, a lot of outdoor activities. So, it'll be fun to get back and see everybody. And and be able to travel when I can travel. Because when you're a teacher, really, summertime is basically the only time you can
You
travel.
can travel, that's true.
So it'll be fun to be able to travel and see everybody.
You know, I
at a
spent
different
some
time.
Christmas time.
Yeah, maybe it's a little cold and wet though. So
Yeah.
I think over the years, having lived in California now since 1983, so almost 40 years, that I'm used to the climate a little bit over here. It is nice to be able to enjoy like the weather we have today and know that it's not going to rain and things like that. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So, but I always prepare when we go to England and take your rain gear and take your warm weather clothes and
That's
things
true.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And although it might be cold and stuff, but the warmth, you know, that the family provides,
definitely.
and the, you know,
Definitely.
the fireside, all that does.
Yes, it'll be
Really.
fun to see everybody. It'll be fun just to create a schedule for myself and for our family. Yeah. My wife retired last year. She was also a teacher. She retired last year, so she's. We're looking forward to spending some good years together. A lot of years ahead, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, definitely.
Yeah.
And would you have any final thing, any last thing to say?
No, I just hope that you know that after I leave and things move on in time, that you know people just hopefully students will remember, you know, me as being somebody who they enjoyed to have as a teacher, and staff members hope that, you know, I'm somebody they enjoyed to have as a colleague. I hope I've left that impression in everybody
Hopefully,
moving forward. Yeah.
Well, for sure, I will remember you,
you,
because
Tamer.
we're both retiring from here. I'm retiring.
that's
I'm a
right.
senior. I'm graduating,
That's
and
right.
you're retiring too.
Yes.
So we'll both be leaving, but hopefully you're remembered. You know,
Absolutely.
it's the memories, you know, that stay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've spent on Montebello here 32 years, really, so that's a long time.
So yeah.
Yeah, no. And good luck to everybody.
Yeah.
Moving forward, good luck to everybody.
Okay, and that's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in and watching, and don't forget to tune in next week to watch another interesting and amazing interview with another amazing person. So yeah, see you.
Thank you, Tamer.
Bye.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.